Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Traversing Food. My name is Steve and today we are back in Poland where I'm going to be checking out this Polish combat ration SRG menu number 3. I put it on a scale. It weighs in at 1944 grams or about 4¼ pounds. Languages on here, got Polish, English, and French. Has a best by date on November 30th, 2018. Doesn't have any nutritional info on the outside. I'm sure there's a sheet inside that'll have an item breakdown and you can figure everything out. And always got this from the great people at Foreign MRE. But if I remember right, there's no tear notches on here either, which no, I don't see any. So we got a knife. And let's see what we got. Let me yeah, everything smells okay. See if we can get through this pretty quick on the unboxing because there's a lot of stuff in these. First up, 3 packs of utensils. You got a knife, spoon, fork, and like a little smaller spoon to I guess stir your drinks, and a napkin. And another thing I've always liked, as far as I know, this is the only ration that actually has cups in there, and the cup is full of like all your candies. Okay, we got 2 50-gram packs of crisp bread. I believe this is wheat. You have a small container of honey, and I'm glad with the jams and honey they put them in a little plastic bag in case they get damaged. They won't leak all over inside the bag. We have a stove. I'll open this up in a minute. I'm sure it's got a lot of other items in there. We have a pack of instant lemon tea. We have another pack of instant tea. Translator doesn't really want to say what flavor this is. We got a 45-gram pack of our indestructible special crackers. Sorry about the glare. We have a cereal and fruit bar, fig flavor. These are very reflective. And something I always enjoy, the 60% chocolate bar. I believe that's 100 grams. Those are always nice and tasty. We have a menu sheet, which is what I will probably go by. I believe we have another instant tea. I'm also not sure what the flavor is. Got a 15-gram pack of freeze-dried fruit. We have another lemon-flavored instant tea. I believe this is a mixed berry or fruit tea. I have a 100-gram tin of pork luncheon meat. Got a 190-gram tin of beef and its own sauce. We have a container of strawberry jam. Another pack of special biscuits. I believe this is the chicken meatballs and spinach sauce. 300 grams. And you can see it's pretty beat up. See if everything... At least everything looks okay. It's a nice 300-gram container of sauerkraut stew with sausage. I know I'm going to love this. Okay, that's everything. Nice decent amount of food. Oh wait, almost forgot. Let me check out the accessory pack. Almost forgot all about it. We have 4 cups for our drinks. Got some napkins or tissue paper. Have a lot of extra Ziploc bags. Guess you can reseal everything. Even just got a little very thin plastic bag. Guess for maybe throw away your trash. We have 3 Be Fresh wet wipes. A 10-gram pack of sugar. 2 packs of instant coffee. I believe these are sprayed instead of freeze-dried. 2 packs of salt. 2 packs of pepper. 3 pieces of xylitol gum. 3 pieces of coffee candy, which I really like these. The coffee flavor is really strong and they're not very sweet. And we have 3 vitamin C candies. Those are usually just probably orange, lime. Not sure what color that is. Probably lemon or grape. And let's check out our stove. Just got your standard folding stove. 12 fuel tabs. Some windproof matches. Another little plastic bag. Got a little item to get your cans on and off the stove without burning yourself. And a little book of matches. Blue tip. Okay, now that's everything. Easily a decent amount of food. Always have been with the Polish rations. I know I'm going to enjoy everything here. But for now, let me get my tray. We'll get breakfast started. Okay everybody, and here's breakfast. Our main is going to be the sauerkraut stew with kielbasa, crisp bread, honey, our pork luncheon meat, our freeze-dried fruits. I believe I grabbed the instant tea with lemon. Have a coffee. We'll check out the wet wipe, xylitol gum, coffee candy, vitamin C candy, salt and pepper if we need it. I'm sure I'm going to be putting pepper on the stew. So let me get the main started and some hot water. Now I'll get water ready for our drinks. Okay everybody, our main is about done heating up. So let's start getting our drinks ready. The instant teas are usually have large granules, which I'm sure you can see. You can probably see better in the cup. They're not too bad. I mean, you can tell it's like an instant tea, but it's still got decent flavor. I've seen there, it's a sprayed coffee. It's essentially a powder. Very fine powder. The tea calls for 250 mils of water. And that's what I got. I like how the glasses are just the right size. And before I forget, let's check out the wet wipe. These are lemon scented. Yeah, kind of like the other ones. I don't mean to sound negative, just don't care for because they're not as bad as the other ones. They still have kind of like a furniture polish smell to them. Very weak, but they do the job. Okay, let's open up our freeze-dried fruit. I forgot to mention that it actually has a gusset on the bottom if you want it to stand up. And it's resealable. But I'm just going to pour some out onto a tray. That's about half of it. I'll save the rest for later. And it looks like you got decent sized chunks of freeze-dried banana. These are cherries. You got your strawberries. And smaller pieces of apple and pineapple. You can add water to it to rehydrate it if you want. Let's get some of our crisp bread out. I don't think I'll need too many. I get 4 pieces. Smells good. And our pork luncheon meat. This is just a little information piece on there. A little bit greasy. That's okay. And we'll open up our honey. It's crystallized quite a bit. And here's our main. As always, nice and hot. Move the honey over a little bit. See if I can get this open without too much trouble. Or without fogging up the camera too bad. That opened pretty easily. And that smells so good. First thing you smell easily is the sauerkraut. I think I've had this before, but it didn't come in the can. It came in the rectangular tin. But let's get this out onto the tray. Hopefully without burning myself too much, because it is really hot. Man, that looks great. Nice, plenty of decent sized pieces of kielbasa, sauerkraut. Not sure what that is. Might be a piece of fat. Might be a thick piece of cabbage, who knows. First thing I'm going to do, check out the crisp bread. Actually, I think that's rye instead of wheat. It tastes like what crisp bread would taste like. You know, it's kind of got that styrofoam texture. Very bland. But if you're going to pair it up with this pork luncheon meat, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit on the salty side. I'm just going to try a piece on its own. Yeah, it's a little bit like Spam, but it definitely does not taste as salty. Nice pork flavor. It's a very firm luncheon meat. Well, this ain't working out too well. Come back here. The luncheon meat goes really well with the crisp bread. I will say one thing. The luncheon meat, you can tell it's pork. It's got a very light flavor. And I can taste the crisp bread more than the luncheon meat. It has a good flavor. Let's check out our coffee. Very nice coffee. Nice and smooth. Check out some of our freeze-dried fruits. Now, even though they're freeze-dried, they got really good flavor. You can easily tell which item is which, because I've had some freeze-dried fruit where it's just so bland you can tell what it is. Alright, check out this honey. I know it's crystallized a little bit. I'm not too worried, because it has really good flavor. Put a little bit on the crisp bread. Yeah, that's really good. Pairs up really nice with the crisp bread. Now let's check out our lemon flavored instant tea. Now for instant tea, it has really good flavor. It kind of reminds me of Nestea. Just enough sweetness so it's not bitter. Has a decent lemon flavor. Okay, as for the main, like I said, you got so many decent sized chunks of kielbasa in there. There's plenty. I know the sauerkraut probably going to add a very nice sourness to it, which is what we're going to try first. And that is so flavorful. You can tell it's sauerkraut. The sourness is not overpowering. Extremely good flavor. A little bit oily, but I expected that. It's not overly salty. You would think it would be, but it's not. Check out a piece of kielbasa. Definitely a nice tasting flavor. You can easily tell it's kielbasa. I mean, there's some that I've bought at the store where you can tell it's sausage, and it says kielbasa, but you don't know what flavor it actually tastes like. This is really good. Get a little bit of everything. Yeah, that is excellent. I'm really glad I bought this ration, because it is just so good. Let's check out our vitamin C candy. I don't know what flavor this is going to be. Yep, probably going to be lemon. And it is. I like these because it has kind of a creamy center that gives it an extra burst of lemon. And then it almost chews like gum. Not very sweet, has just enough sweetness so the lemon is not too sour tasting. Very good flavor. And now our coffee candies. I've always enjoyed these. Wish I can find a decent place to buy them online. Man, those are so good. A very rich coffee flavor. Not very sweet. It has just enough sugar so it's not bitter. And let's check out our xylitol gum. All I know, I believe it's mint flavor. Don't know what kind. It might just be a generic mint flavor. And it has good flavor. It has a nice balance between mint and sweetness. But the only thing I do not like about the xylitol gum, it doesn't last very long. I mean, 10 minutes and the flavor's gone. But it does have good flavor. Okay, everybody. That's going to do it for breakfast. I knew I was going to enjoy everything. It's my dinner time, so I'm definitely going to scarf this up because it is just so good. And I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. So until then, I'll see you at lunch. Okay, and here we are for lunch. For lunch, our main is going to be the chicken meatballs, and I believe that's going to be a spinach sauce. Our fig cereal bar, some of our special crackers, our instant raspberry tea. We have our coffee candy. I believe this is going to be the orange vitamin C candy. Salt, pepper if we need it, and our utensils. A little lighter than breakfast, but still going to be a pretty good meal. So let's get this main in some hot water and get started. Okay, our main is about done heating up. Let's get everything else ready. Let's check out our tea. It's just going to be some, probably dark red granules, since it's raspberry, which it is. Alright, cereal bar, fig flavor. Should have a rice paper on each side so it doesn't stick to the wrapper or your hands, which it does. Smells really good. Has a slight fig smell to it. Your biscuits, hardtack, tank treads, whatever you want to call them. They're tough. They do have little pieces of caraway seeds in them. They do taste good. They're just very hard. Alright, let's get our main, which is extremely hot. Then we get the lid off of that thing without knocking anything over. At least the cans are very easy to open. And I get it all myself. Alright, let's get this poured out onto the tray. Man, that is hot. I just need to quit heating these up so much. Pretty decent sized meatballs. Cleanup time. You know, that smells different, but I am going to start getting a biscuit soaking in it. Try and soften it up a little bit, see how they taste. But first, let's give our cereal bar a try. Like I said, this is fig flavor. Very dense. I think it has a little bit more of a raisin than a fig flavor. The oat flavor really stands out too. Not very sweet. It tastes like it has a natural sweetness from all the other fruits in there. Really good. I just wish it had a little more of a fig flavor. Try a piece of our biscuit. Maybe. Jeez. Very hard. I'm sure you can tell by now. If you haven't had them, I'm sure you've heard about them. Has a little bit of a caraway seed flavor. Just enough salt so they're not bland. Alright, give our raspberry tea a try. It's not too bad. A little bit heavy on the artificial flavor. But it is an instant tea, or an instant beverage. Also not very sweet, but sweet enough. It's enjoyable. Alright, let's give this spinach cream sauce a try. It looks good. Has a really good spinach flavor. A little bit creamy. It's either some leeks or onions in there that I can also taste. Give that another try. Yeah, I like that. It's pretty good. It's not overly salty. Actually, some people might think it needs salt. And the spinach gives you that little bit of bitterness. I don't know how tough the meatballs are going to be. All right, let me give that another taste. Give another shot of the cross section. Processed pretty heavily. Those actually taste pretty good. They're not dry. They're not juicy. They're about right in the middle. Have good flavor, definitely enough seasoning. Nothing really stands out on them though. But I do know if you do not like spinach and cream sauce, you probably will not like this. Let's see if our biscuit softened up any. Probably not. Maybe halfway. Goes pretty well with the biscuits. And I don't know why I didn't grab one. Grab a piece of crisp bread. Try some of that on there. I'm sure it'll taste a lot better than the biscuits. Yeah, that definitely goes a lot better with the spinach sauce. That's a lot better. Alright, try our vitamin C candy. And it definitely looks like it's going to be orange. Yeah, that has kind of the artificial orange flavor. You can definitely tell it's a vitamin C candy. And our coffee candy, which everybody knows I like these. Good coffee flavor. Not very sweet. I've been checking around online. If anybody knows where to order them coffee candies from a decent place, you can please leave it in my comment section. Okay everybody, that's going to do it for lunch. I really hope you enjoyed the review. Really wasn't much to it. The chicken meatballs in the spinach sauce was actually really good. I enjoyed it. But if you're not a fan of spinach or don't like some of the bitterness that might come from it, you may not like this. But it goes a lot better with the crisp bread than the biscuits. But I'm going to go finish all this up, and I'll see you next time at dinner. And here we are for dinner. The main for dinner is not as big. It's only 190 grams, which is going to be beef in its own juice. The package says beef with gravy, but I believe it's just beef in its own juice. some more of our crisp bread, strawberry jam, or 60% chocolate bar. Those are so good. And for our drink, we're going to have our forest fruits tea. And a little bit about that, I know at breakfast I had the lemon flavored tea, and it actually tastes like instant lemon tea. But I had the raspberry for lunch, and this one's, I believe it's going to be a mixed berry. They don't taste like tea at all, they just taste like a fruit drink. So I don't know why they call them tea, really don't taste any tea at all. But they are good. And also got some salt and pepper, and I believe this one's going to be a lime flavored vitamin C candy. So I get this main in some hot water, and we'll get our drink ready. Okay, let's get our fruit tea ready. Looks kind of like the raspberry. And our strawberry jam. It's a little bit separated. Smells good. You can actually see chunks of fruit in there too. And let's take a look at this chocolate bar. It's broken a few places, but that's okay. Nice dark looking chocolate. Stuff has always been really good. And if you're wondering, yeah, it's pretty darn hot. But it looks like beef in its own juice. And usually I drain off some of the grease because they can be kind of greasy. But I'm not going to drain this one, just to show you how much liquid is in there. The beef is usually a little bit fatty in these, but the flavor is really good. Let's get this opened up. So you can get this out of the container without making a mess like I did at lunchtime. That's interesting. It's it's like one big ground chunk of beef. Well, maybe it's not ground. Maybe it's, I don't know, kind of spongy. But I can see actual chunks of beef in there. Smells pretty darn good. But first, I'm going to check out this strawberry jam. You can see the strawberry seeds in there. Hasn't been processed completely. And for how it looks, it's actually pretty mild. I was hoping it'd have a stronger strawberry flavor. I know strawberry is not a strong flavor to begin with, but if it didn't say strawberry on the package, I can't really tell that this is strawberry. It goes well with the crisp bread. You know, it's not overly sweet, which is the way I prefer it. Alright, I'm going to get my knife and cut into this. Like I was saying, about a little bit fatty besides the grease in there. You do have some of your fat, but it's kind of weird. It's like actual chunks of beef that has been kind of molded into one piece, like maybe with flour or something. I don't know how to explain it. It smells good. And it's probably just your beef with onion and salt and pepper and maybe some bay leaf, which is just fine with me. But let's check out our mixed berry drink. Yeah, it's really good. It is definitely not as sweet as the raspberry from lunch, but this one has a little bit of a tartness. Like maybe it has a little bit of cranberry or something in there. Very good flavor. I like that. let's check out this. See how it tastes. Has a nice beef flavor. Since it's so compacted, the beef itself does not taste too greasy. A little bit salty, which is fine. It should be. Not too much of a pepper flavor. But one thing I kind of did want to do, I just want to drop one of these in there. Maybe a little better than that. I'm just going to drop the whole darn thing in there. See how much soaks up. While I grab another bite of this. Yeah, that tastes really good. I enjoy that. Alright, now let's check out this crisp bread. It's not crispy anymore. Yeah, it's probably 2/3 of the way soaked up. Oh, that's really tasty. That gives this crisp bread such a nice flavor. Adds some saltiness to the crisp bread that it needs. Has a little bit of that fatty, beefy flavor. That's excellent. I like that. Let's check out a piece of our chocolate. I know this is great. Just enough sweetness so it doesn't taste bitter. Nice chocolate flavor. I know there's some chocolate bars out there that might have a little more of a chocolate flavor than these, but these all around have always been good. Alright, check out our vitamin C candy. I believe it's going to be lime, and yeah, it's green. And I sure was wrong on that flavor. It's sour apple. And such an odd flavor. It's not bad. I just wasn't expecting sour apple. Not very sweet, definitely sour, enjoyable. And speaking of enjoyable, I enjoyed this entire ration. All the food was really good, but as always, I will definitely be finishing all of this. But I hope you enjoyed the review of this Polish SRG menu number 3, 24-hour ration. But as where we're heading next, we're going to be taking a little stop in Russia. Always enjoyed their rations. Always a lot of food. Always a lot of good food. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.